Welcome to LE 101, Introduction to Paralegal Studies and Ethics at Mountain State College. My name is Mindy Line, and I am your instructor for this course. A little bit about me and my background. I am from Parkersburg, West Virginia, and I went to West Virginia University where I studied Economics and International Studies with a minor in Political Science during my undergraduate studies at WVU. And I then went on to the West Virginia University College of Law, where I obtained my Juris Doctor, my JD of Law in 2003. Upon graduation, I accepted a position as a law clerk to the Honorable Robert A. Waters with the 4th Judicial Circuit in Parkersburg, and I served as his law clerk for 2 years. During that time, the first summer I took and passed the West Virginia bar examination, and the second year I took the Ohio bar examination. So I am officially licensed in both states of West Virginia and Ohio, though I am currently inactive. I began teaching paralegal courses in 2004 with Mountain State College, and I also went on to teach with Kaplan University for several years online, and I have kind of left and come back to Mountain State, and I came back this past summer to begin teaching again, only online. I also worked in litigation following my clerkship, where I specialized in employment litigation primarily, and I also did some other general civil work and family law and criminal law. And then I became pregnant with my daughter in 2006, and I decided to leave my law practice and stay home with my children. I now have a son as well, and I have continued teaching the paralegal classes, and I have had my license active and inactive throughout the years, just depending on what's going on in my life. And I homeschool my children, and that's basically where I am at. So, welcome to Mountain State and to the paralegal program. This is the first course in the program. Right now I am sharing my computer screen with you, and I will create some of these presentations and put them up on YouTube for you to view so that I can actually talk and kind of explain things a little bit better than just writing everything out. As we will learn here in the first chapter, some people learn better using audio methods, some use visual better, some like to listen, some like to read, basically different ways of learning, different ways of assimilating information into our brains. So I try to incorporate some different methods as well. All right, each week I will try to give you a checklist of the things that you need to do to be successful in the course. This week we need to review the syllabus, read chapters 1 and 2, complete the discussion questions at the end of the chapter, participate in the week 1 forum, and complete the week 1 quiz. Now I'm going to switch over here to the syllabus, which is available on the Sakai website, which I'll come back to that. This is my Sakai. So the LE 101 Fall 14 site is here. If you click on syllabus, which my internet connection is slow, so I do apologize if I time out here and there. But there is the syllabus that you can click on and download a copy, and it looks like this. Okay, this course is worth 2.4 quarter hours. My contact information is here at the top. My name, my email address, Mountain State's phone number, as well as my cell phone number. If you need to contact me for any reason, you have questions, etc., I strongly prefer that you send me a message via the Sakai system or send me an email. If I do not respond within 24 hours, which is rare, it probably means that I did not see the message or it did not go through, then go ahead and send me a text if you text. If not, you can give me a call. But it's definitely easier for me to respond when you send an email or send a message, because that means I'm usually at my computer and have the information at hand to help answer whatever question you have. Okay, there are no course prerequisites for this course. This is the first one. This is the prerequisite for most of for all the other courses in the legal program. The course materials: A Practical Introduction to Paralegal Studies, 2nd edition. Mountain State's bookstore there at the front should have these available for you. I also recommend that you get the Rules for Writers 7th edition. I currently have the older edition, but I'm planning to get a newer one. And I have that up here on Amazon to just show you what it looks like. This, and it is more of a generic writing text. It's very useful though to look up those questions that you might have of where do I put this comma, when do you use a semicolon, what is the proper way to cite a quotation, etc. It has a good section on validating resources, and it's just a good reference to have, and I'm sure it will come in handy in all your courses and anything that you do any writing in. Software requirements. Microsoft Word is my preferred way for you to submit your written assignments so that they'll be in a doc or a docx format. If you do not have Microsoft Word, you can use OpenOffice or LibreOffice, one of the free Office programs that you can download from the web. And then I would like you to have Adobe Acrobat Reader, which you can get for free online as well. Usually when I upload a document like the syllabus or once I have graded a paper with comments, then I tend to save it as a PDF just to eliminate any issues with it being having trouble opening it. Okay, so you can read the description here. Basically this course, the purpose is to provide you an introduction into the field of law and into ethics and into the entirely new vernacular that you're going to be exposed to by entering the legal world, the legal profession. And you can look through the different learning objectives. The instructional methods. This is an online course, so you're going to use Sakai to do that. Make sure that you are able to access that, are able to get on. And if you have any questions, you need training, you have technical issues, then please, please, please call Mountain State College and speak to them, and they will help you. They're great about doing that. Kevin Merritt is the tech guy there, and he is awesome with responding and helping you do whatever you need to do. So make sure that you get any issues sorted out early on so that you're able to access everything, and that's not an issue. A note, students in an online course are highly accountable for their own performance and success. So it's necessary for you to be diligent about completing your assignments and completing the work even if you don't have to formally submit the work. You're responsible for your learning. So make sure you are aware of that and take that seriously. Because this isn't a class where we're going to be meeting like in high school where you come into a classroom every week and you have to face someone, and it's much easier in an online course to procrastinate and to put stuff off. You need to set these deadlines for yourself and make sure you abide by them. Each week you have to participate in a weekly forum, aside from the midterm and the final week, that addresses the reading for the week as well as any assignments. You have to post at least 3 times for the week, and you have to post no later than Wednesday of each week. So plan to start reading those chapters early in the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then start posting no later than Wednesday. You can post earlier than that, of course, but make sure you do. If you don't post 3 times or you don't post by Wednesday, then you're going to result in an automatic deduction of your points for the forum. Each week you're also going to complete a weekly quiz covering the material from the Practical Introduction to Paralegal Studies text. And those are on Sakai. The review questions at the end of the chapter are assigned, and I would like you to complete them. You do not have to submit them to me every week. If you have questions about them or you want to submit them and have some feedback, feel free to do that, but that is not something that you're required to do. That's one of those examples of something that you should do and hold yourself accountable for doing that. Assignments, practical applications at the end. I will assign various practical applications as we go on. We'll discuss them during the forums, and some of them will form part of your assignments. Examinations, you'll have 2 examinations, a midterm exam and then a comprehensive final exam. Okay, assessment criteria, so how your grade is determined. There are 1,000 points in the course. The forums are worth 10 points each. There are 10 weeks when you have forums. We have 12 weeks in the course. The midterm week and the final week, you don't have a quiz or a forum. So 10 weeks at 10 points each, that's 100 points. And remember, if you don't post at least 3 times or post by Wednesday, then you'll receive a deduction there. The quizzes, there are 10 quizzes. They are each worth 20 points each as well, and they are every week except for that midterm and final week. You have 4 written assignments, each worth 100 points each, and you'll see those marked on the syllabus when they're due. And then the examinations. Usually I give you 3 or 4 days to from the release to the due date to complete those. And then Mountain State's grading scale is listed there. Participation. You're expected to participate. You're expected to participate regularly and every week and submit your assignments on time. Failure to do so will result in being reported to the Director of Student Services and will result in a deduction on your grade, of course. Late policy. Students are adults that are expected to understand the personal responsibilities associated with online education. It is crucial to actively participate in the course and to not fall behind. Any assignments more than 2 days late will be subject to a penalty deduction of 10% of the total points allocated to the assignment in order to be fair to the other students. So remember, this is also, all these courses here in the beginning are a sequential course, meaning that we're building a foundation here, so when you move on to the other courses, you need to be able to have this knowledge base there to be able to understand and be successful in those. The penalty of 10% would be, so if your written assignment is worth 100 points and you are more than 2 days late, then I will deduct 10 points from it automatically, because I don't think it's fair for your fellow students to submit their assignments on time and for someone else to make a habit to not do so. And the 2 days is just a little bit of leniency because we all have busy lives and things happen, so I try not to be too strict there, but please don't make a habit of being late as well. Okay, then this is the topical outline of the course. I have it arranged by week. It gives you your checklist of things you need to do. The items that are graded and go to the grade book are in bold. And so you can see here in week 2, you'll review your assignment 1, and then it will be due here in week 3. So submit assignment 1. I have it submit to the Dropbox. You can use the Dropbox, or you can just use the folder under the assignments and submit them there. So there is our outline and our syllabus. Okay, so chapter 1, learning to learn. Everybody is also required to complete the LE 100 course, and that course really expands on this chapter and the concepts that go with it. Some tips to do for your reading assignments. This says read before class, and I left these in a more generic fashion, even though we're doing an online course, for other courses that you might be doing in person. Make sure you read before the class so you have an idea of what's going on. Preview for 5 minutes. Get the big picture, put things in context so you understand it. If you have a really, really long reading assignment, then break it up into smaller pieces. Take your text with you to class and read after class. Listening and thinking about it and then letting it sink in more works well for many people. The SQ3R reading method is one that you may have been exposed to during your education prior to this. It's the idea that you survey the material before, so look through everything, then you start to question it, and then you read it. Sorry, I must have this on auto. Then you try to recite it and review it. Some techniques to remember: mark your text. If you are trying to resell your books afterwards, you can always use Post-its and stick them in there. If you're not concerned with that, then highlighters and notes. Mine were always marked up with law school, my law school text. Challenge your understanding, take notes on it, whatever works for you, and control your environment, meaning if music distracts you, then don't have music. If it helps you, then have it. If being around other people is too distracting, then go somewhere where you can be by yourself, etc. For those classes that you do have class in, make sure you attend class, you're on time, and you avoid distractions, so you're not playing with your phone or anything during it. For an online course, make sure that you get your assignments done on time, that you set time aside each week to get things done that you need to get done. Note-taking. Page 9 has a list of abbreviations, has some of those legal terms that you'll start to see, like a triangle for defendant, the paragraph symbol for plaintiff, and those start becoming much very handy whenever you are writing them constantly, especially when you start doing like briefs and that kind of thing. There's also the Cornell note-taking system, similar to the SQ3R, but with an extra stepper in there, that you can review and try both of them and see what works well for you. Outlines. Outlining can be very useful to go through and kind of break things out into a bigger picture. Using index cards to keep key concepts incorporating your computer. However, if you're doing an online course, obviously you're going to be using your computer a lot, so making sure you know how it works. Study groups, the legal program at Mountain State is relatively small usually, but you can study together, and frequently working with others works. So make sure that the people that you choose to work with are responsible and that you're organized and you make your time count. Review your notes after class. With review, this is just because it's 75% of the material recalled versus 20% if you didn't review. Preparing for exams. Be informed about the exams. Pay attention to comments. Study old exams and quizzes, etc. You can read through those recommendations. The exams here are a little bit different because we are doing online examinations. So you have the ability to use your text, the ability to find information and have it and to understand it is more important, I find, than just rote memorization. So you have that ability to look through and make sure everything is good. And the exams in the course are fairly long and detailed, so be prepared for that, and the quizzes will help you. Some tips on exams in general. I try to make it so that the exams, you can view the whole thing and can kind of take breaks and come back to it, and that you get feedback quickly to be able to study. Creating a calendar. If you don't already have a calendar, it's definitely a useful tool. Make sure to write all your due dates when things are due, and then set aside that time for, okay, I know assignment 1 is due on this date. How much time am I going to need to complete it and do a good job with it? So something you can create a rough draft with. So work backwards and create a deadline for that rough draft, and then work backwards to do whatever it is that you need to do. If it's a case brief, then you need time to read and digest the brief and take notes on it and then form it into a brief, etc. The chapter in there has a bunch of online links that are useful to give you ideas for how to study, etc., so that you can look at. The other thing that I wanted to show you is Westlaw. If you do not already have it, you can get a password to be able to get onto Westlaw. So it's just www.westlaw.com, and talk to Roger in the library at Mountain State to get a password. As students at Mountain State, you have access to the Westlaw subscription, which this is basically an entire law library available to you for free on the computer, and that's very handy. Okay, so welcome to the legal program at Mountain State College. I look forward to getting to know you. Make sure that you post to those forums, read those chapters, and take that quiz. Thanks.